Voice with the Voice of Africa. It's your boy Cadmiel, and today we're touching on a very important subject, which is can you find love online dating? We have a bunch of special guests with us, and they are going to introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Josie. I'm from Cameroon originally, but I live in Houston, Texas.
Hey guys, I'm Jeff. I'm from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Ghanaian descent. 31. I'm in law enforcement.
For sure.
My name is Emmanuel. I'm originally from Nigeria, currently in New Jersey, and I am a videographer.
Sure. So the first question I have for you guys is, what do you guys think of online dating in general? Like using platforms like Tinder and Hinge and stuff like that. What do you think about it? What's your opinion on people who use it?
Speaking from personal experience, because I've used it, and I think some people use it on a daily basis, right? It's kind of, I want to say it's a new normal, just because not everyone has the chance to go out and meet people anymore.
Right.
Even before the pandemic, I didn't have the time because I'm always working. So it was kind of like easy for me to just go on there, even when I'm at work, or like have a notification of, oh, you have someone I messaged you. So to me, it's okay because it's easier. You get to speak to someone before you actually meet them face to face. Okay, there's the catfish thing in your head that's kind of, but you can always FaceTime them, which I normally do, before you go meeting someone. So to me, it's always worked in my favor anyways.
Yeah. How about you, Jeff?
Well, it depends on which dating app you use. Like I have to be honest, I've used Tinder before and I've seen no success on it. Like to me, it's like I just don't know how to gauge it properly. Like I'll try to DM certain, be in their DMs and talk to certain women, and I didn't get no reception back. But when on the flip side, I've used Instagram. Instagram to me is more of like I've used that as a dating app because you basically get to see other people's profiles, and then sometimes you would slide in through your DMs based on maybe what they post on their stories or their feed. So that's how I'm not gonna lie. That's how I've been meeting women in the past like 5 years, and that's how I kind of met the person I'm with now. So yeah, I met her through Instagram. So I think it could work. It just depends on which platform you're using.
Well, for sure, I agree with you, Emmanuel.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I don't think I've only used Tinder, and that's like a while ago. I mean, that was when it was like a thing in college. But I never used it seriously. And I never used it to pursue an actual find somebody that I actually wanted to date type stuff.
Yeah.
But like Jeff was saying, for Instagram though, even though it's not technically a dating app, I have linked with a few people from Instagram, and I guess pursue something with to an extent. So I mean, based on that experience, it could work for me, but I personally don't have a lot of experience on it. But theoretically, I don't see anything wrong with it.
So Josie, I figure you're the only one that has actually met people, from that app as of right now, out of all of them.
Yeah.
Do you think people are like seriously looking for like love on that app, or it's more just like a fling type thing?
You know what? I honestly think that it goes both ways, because when you think about it, online dating actually allows users to meet like a wide range of like potential partners. When I say, it doesn't mean just because you meet someone you guys are going to date, but on online dating you can legit kind of, I don't know, reduce the amount of guys you're going to speak to and really just get the ones you want to focus on. So if you want serious guys, they are on there. I met my ex online on Tinder, and we did stay together for a long time. Obviously, we just weren't compatible. So I think there are serious people on there. Yes, definitely. And I think you can meet serious people anywhere. Unfortunately, it just happens to be that some people are a little bit funnier than others, but they are like serious people on the dating app.
That was very.
I'm a serious person, and I was on that, so.
Yeah. Well, like, would you say is you can meet serious people if, and it's not a shot or anything, but like obviously you and your ex are exes. So do you think it's because you met on the dating app, and maybe if you met in person you might have lasted longer, or just like on the individual?
You know what? Yeah, I wouldn't want to think that because we actually didn't ever speak about it like that. It was the first day we met. Oh, okay, we met on that. After that, it was normal. It was like we met somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, I think that online just makes it easy for you guys to meet. And after you guys meet, it's up to both of you now to kind of make the connections. Yeah, if it's not there, it's not there. I feel like there's really no difference. You will meet someone face to face, and after a week you won't speak. So is there really a difference? In my opinion, I don't think so. Not much, anyways.
For sure, yeah. This one's for the guys. Like, do you think that especially like Emmanuel, I know you say you had Tinder back in like college days. Back in those days, were you like looking to potentially trying to find your girlfriend, potentially your wife, or just like more of a fling?
Yeah, I was not.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I was not on that type of time. It was just more so flings and all that.
Okay. What you, Jeff?
You know what, Jeff? Yeah, go ahead. I thought you said Josie.
Oh no. I would say that like after my 5-year relationship, I was on it to look for flings at a certain point, but after I was like, you know what, let me go try to find someone on here that I can potentially be with.
Yeah.
It just unfortunately like it just didn't work out for me. Like I didn't find anyone that like that was like I guess it probably didn't take me serious or whatever the case was. And so I even tried a secondary app, I think Bumble, I believe, and again nothing. I didn't get nothing until I just started using Instagram. You know what I mean? I've been using Instagram since, and then I found my girlfriend on it. But I know some people could use I've heard people use Clubhouse as a form of a dating app, right? Because you're basically on the app, you basically get to hear the people speak. You get to hear like their thought process come out. So then it's like, oh, you may connect with somebody from the app. So I know some may have used that app for that, but I think you can find success in it. It just depends on what your intentions is and what you're looking for.
No, I definitely agree with you guys. So do you think what were you saying, Josie?
I said that's real. I agree as well.
So basically, you guys think it's more of the person's intentions on the.
You know what? Yeah, like I always say, my opinion, you should have rules when you go on dating apps. You shouldn't just go on there and think, oh, okay, anyone I meet is going to be serious. Of course not. Just like if you go to the club or you go to a restaurant, everyone you come across is not going to be serious, right? So you should always have rules, whether it's face-to-face or online. And I can't tell people what type of rules they should have, but I made my own rules I make my own rules when I go on online dating. So it's easy for me.
What type of rules do you have, just in case anyone wants to?
When I go on the dating app, you definitely want to define your goal first before you go on there. You're not just going to make a profile and you don't know what to put in there. You definitely want to put serious pictures. No, I'm not trying to judge anybody, right? But there's certain type of pictures you put on there. Guys are going to come and be like, no, you're not serious, And you should also go for guys that have clear pictures, not one picture, at least 2 or 3 pictures. Someone that has defined what he's looking for on there. You know how some guys will go on there and just leave it blank? In my opinion, it says a lot about you than you think. I want to know who you are a little bit before I actually engage in a conversation with you. I want to know where you're working, what you're doing in your free time before you come and say, because I want to double check if it match when we speak. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah. And then set the first meeting at least in the same week or so that you guys don't lose in the communication. And don't be desperate. That's it.
No, I think I do agree with the last point, because I feel like guys can also kind of sense, desperating like girls as well. Like if you're a girl and obviously like the first conversation was like, yo, I'm looking for a boyfriend or whatever, like the guy would know like the type of angle to take in order from you.
Definitely.
Yeah, I feel that.
That's great. How about you, Emmanuel? What do you think about those goals that the girls have? Like, what goals did you have when you were using those apps?
When I was on Tinder?
Yeah. For guys who are not necessarily looking for love or anything, how should they go about it into finding people?
Well, if they're not looking for love or nothing, I would just say be honest with your intentions, like what you want. You know what I mean? So at least, she knows what she's getting into. You know, if you say, hey, I'm just looking for a fling or I'm just looking to hook up, whatever, you know, you let her know that. So then she can now take that information and figure out what she wants to do with that. If
You know
she's,
what's funny though? I saw this meme on Instagram like lately. It was like, why don't you tell the girl that, yo, this is what I'm trying to do? That she's like, right away.
Lily.
Yeah. So basically, like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go.
I mean, but it's even with that though, it's a win-win because it's like, because some girls are looking for a fling. Like it's not. We have this idea that all girls just want love or whatever. Like some girls are just like guys. They just want, they just want to do what they got to do. So it's like, if you're honest, you can never lose. Because at the end of the day, if I tell you, hey Josie, this is what I want. If you're not up to that, Josie, and you leave, then at least it doesn't really matter. All right. Then I go to the next girl. If I say, hey Mary, this is what I want, she's with it, then all right, cool. Like, it's a win-win at the end of the day. And like this way, you're not giving out the wrong impression.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I respect that. How about you, Jeff? What do you think about that? Like, if you're going to, I feel like more times when you're like upright, I mean, there are certain girls who will be like done with whatever, but most times they'll just dip. So, will you?
Will definitely compromise. Please don't say. Don't.
You agree with that, Jeff?
I think Emmanuel was saying is kind of right. Like, you gotta let your intentions be known from early, right? Because some girls, like he was saying, they're not looking for anything serious though. Maybe they've got out of the situation. They're just probably looking for someone just to like have that with. They're just sexual relations with it, right? Some people just looking for someone, just a friendship, right? Some people just looking for someone just to vibe with. So I think like when you use those apps, you got to be very straightforward and exactly what you want. Like, there's no point of just be misleading. You know what I mean? Not being forthright with your intentions, and then later on the person gets caught up. You know what I'm saying? And then you're in a situation where it's not working out. So if you tell a girl, I'm just looking for a fling, and she leaves, that's fine, man. Let her go, because that's not what she's looking for. Exactly. And you have to be able to accept that because someone else may be looking for that. So it's all about transparency.
For sure. So this one's for anyone who wants to like pick up on this question. Would you be comfortable in telling your parents or like your family members, especially from Africa, that I met like he or she on a dating app?
I know that.
Imagine.
No, I'm not gonna hold you. Yeah.
You say you would?
I wouldn't be comfortable doing that.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Why not? Why not?
Good question. Why not?
I don't know. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. You feel me? But me personally, I just wouldn't feel comfortable. For me personally, I'd rather meet somebody in real life, but not saying that anybody who uses dating app it's any less real or whatever. But just me personally, I might not have like a good reason. You know what I'm saying? My reason might not make sense, but that's just how I feel about it. I just wouldn't, feel comfortable. Like my mom asks, where did you guys meet? And I say Tinder. She's never gonna know what I meant.
I have a question though. So you just said you don't feel comfortable meeting people online, but we're in the pandemic. Where else are you meeting people?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
That's true. But I mean, yeah, that's true. And I haven't engaged in like recently. I haven't engaged in like trying to meet people, right in the pandemic or whatever. So I don't know how I feel about it now. But I'm just saying, like, I'm just going off of when I did do it. I just wouldn't be comfortable, trying to do it. I wouldn't be comfortable like saying, "Hey, mom, I met this girl on Tinder." And then
wait. Can I just say that our parents are very much aware that we don't live in Africa, okay? We live in another country where we are busy, we work. I have my whole life to deal with every day. So my dad should know that I don't have that much time to meet someone face to face. So if I meet someone online, I'm gonna let him know, Dad, I met this person when I was online. I don't have to tell him where. As long as we met, we clicked, life goes on. I don't know why people go back to it. That has nothing to do with it. You're just using that app to meet a person. I really don't see the big deal. I'll tell my dad, I'll tell my family members, which I have in the past. It's not a big deal, guys. It's just, the app is just there to make it easier. It's just facilitating people who are really busy or people who are shy, people who don't know how to mix, to meet. I really don't see a big deal, you know.
And you're right. You feel me? And I guess it's not one of those things where I'm trying to argue if you're right or wrong. It's just, I guess it's me being honest. For some reason, I guess maybe it's still like a childish mindset, or maybe like I still have a closed mindset towards it. So I can accept that about myself. So, I mean, logically, there should be no reason why I should feel away, but for some reason I do. So, maybe that's gonna change.
We probably become chill with that. You come in and say like, yo, your wife is some chick you met on Clubhouse.
I have a question. What if you meet this person online and then somehow you guys realize you guys are very compatible? You propose to her at your wedding. Are you going to lie that you didn't meet online?
No, I'm not gonna lie.
Well, technically, like, we didn't meet in person online, so we met away.
No, are you gonna lie? Are you gonna lie on where you first, saw the person, or when you met the person? Let me see. Even though it's not a face-to-face meeting.
I feel like for me, like at that point, I'm already like getting married or whatever. So whatever you say at the end of the day, like, or however you judge me, it's pretty much about like I'm at the finish line. So no reason for me to go ahead and lie about it.
Yeah, and I feel like people.
Yeah, go ahead, Emmanuel. People what?
No, I was saying people would already know technically, like whoever my close friends and family is, they're already gonna know that I met her on Clubhouse. It's not gonna be when I'm about to get married to her, then I'm start telling niggas the story.
Hey, let me tell you something real quick.
Yeah.
Then again, guys, some people are out there waiting to hear people's stories that met online. That's why I'm so happy that on Clubhouse are sharing their story, because there's someone out there. Because I've heard so many people on Clubhouse saying it's not possible. I'm like, it's very much possible. There's nothing that says Clubhouse is just a network. You can go in a network room and then you meet someone out of nowhere. You guys have the same way of thinking, the same mindset, same principles, same values. That might be your soulmate. It might be the one for you. So really and truly, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. People just want to hear the story. So if you meet someone online, it works out. I encourage people to just share their stories, because you're encouraging other people to kind of try, because you never know.
Yeah, there was a trend. There was a trend going on earlier. Hold on. I'm sorry. There was a trend going on earlier that. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You just screen went blank.
That says, you know what it says? It says, how we met and how we are now, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was like a bunch of people, screenshotting their first interaction, which was a DM, like a Twitter DM or like an IG DM, and then screenshotting where they are now. So there was a bunch of stories, or maybe it might be getting a little more normalized, to express like, hey, online dating works or whatever the case may be. So yeah, that's like what you're saying is true.
I think that's just something with that. You should probably have something like that too.
Just to add to that, to what Josie's right. Josie's right, because a lot of people feel inspired that it is possible, that you can meet your soulmate on these dating apps or these social media platforms. You see what I'm saying? And it's good to be honest and forefront with it. Because like for me, I'm the DM guy. My story would be the DM if I do marry my partner, right? I'm the DM guy. I DM'd her. You see what I'm saying? And now we're been together for a year now. So if it does work out and we share that story, maybe other people may feel comfortable and encouraged to possibly find their soulmate on these platforms. But the thing is, I think that one of the issues that we're from the generation from the technological age, digital era, right? Where our parents are from they never grew up on technology, so maybe they're not made as progressive in mind with that. Because I know from my circumstances, I lied. I told my mom that I met my girl at a kickback at a get together, and then later on added on social media, and then that's when I started to talk to her, and you know what I mean. I lied about the process, but that wasn't the case. I actually just DM'd her, spoke to her through it, and then later on, we went on a date, we met up, and then. Showing this like 40 minutes away from where I live, so it's kind of a convenient factor. So I don't know. It's tough though, because I don't know how I'm going to explain to my mom. I don't think my mom would understand. Maybe I didn't give her the benefit of the doubt to like talk to her about it. I just feel like from my point of view, like she wouldn't understand. So that's why I lied about it.
No, that's very interesting. I feel like it also depends on how we grow up. I don't want to say all African parents, generalize anything, but I feel like majority or some African parents, it's kind of hard. They're not as open with their kids. So, the kids are not as comfortable to just go ahead and, have these type of conversations, with the parents not either getting judged or, being ridiculed or some type of way. So I feel like that also plays into the fact that, we're not as open to do that. I know, like, I have American friends, European friends, and, like, they tell their parents, like, any and everything. Like, I met this guy, like, here. My parents won't necessarily judge, but you guys might be different.
In my case, I tell my dad any and everything too. So, is my dad African? Absolutely. And I tell my brothers and sisters any and everything. I don't see why you need to hide it because, yet again, like I say, if your story is a successful one, you shouldn't have to hide it anymore. We go on these apps all the time. We can meet, and when I mean anyone, we can meet anyone. You can meet your soulmate, someone you never thought you would meet on this app. And you get married because I've read stories, I've seen it, I've watched it on YouTube. It happens all the time. You should be proud to share it. And I met someone on Clubhouse recently. Am I going to get to know the person? Yes. Is it going to end well? Who knows? If it does, I'm definitely going to share it. I feel like everyone should be open to sharing it. We're on Instagram, we're on Snapchat, we are on Clubhouse. You can meet them anywhere. It's still an app is an app, right? It doesn't have to be a dating app. It's an app and you can meet people on there. I just think people should be open-minded. That's all I'm saying. Don't close off because you might be shutting down your blessing.
Yeah, no, for sure. I agree with that. So why do you think, I feel like Instagram has, or like Tinder and Bumble has a different kind of feedback or than Instagram might have? Because let's say, for example, like Emmanuel was talking about, like if he's slipping the girls' DMs or whatever, like he would calm with that. But if it's talking about Tinder or Bumble, it kind of has like a negative connotation than Instagram might have, or like Snapchat or whatever might have. Why do you think those apps have more of a negative reputation or connotation behind it than social media platforms like IG and Facebook?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
What's the question, real quick?
Yeah, so why do you think apps? So let's say, for example, you shoot your shot on someone on IG. You're comfortable with telling everyone that I DM'd this girl, but when it's like, I went on Tinder, I went on Bumble, like it's like, wow, I don't want to tell anyone that. It kind of has like a negative connotation behind that.
Oh yeah.
It definitely has a stigma, somewhat. I always say that it has a stigma to it. Because even when I told people my ex I met him on Tinder, people are like, Josie, is he even serious? It's like, yes, he is. At the time I didn't have Instagram. I recently just made one. So it definitely has a stigma. Do I think Instagram is any different? No. I actually think somehow Instagram is worse.
No, 100%.
I want to hear Josie's point on Josie. I want to hear your point on that one. Why?
Jeff, I'm not coming for you. Because when you think about it, on Bumble or on Tinder, you don't have as many pictures as you have on Instagram. Even if you have followers, it's very limited how many people can even message you sometimes. On Instagram, anyone and everyone can literally message you. When I mean anyone, we're all mixed on there. So it's like, it's way more risky on Instagram because you have so much more options.
Ooh,
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
On Tinder, you kind of get to know right away, like, okay, this person finds you attractive because it's a matching system. Like they have to match you, unless they match you on accident or something. But
that's what I think.
Yeah, on Instagram, it's like you going in blind. You don't know what type. You don't know what you're gonna come across. You just got. I get that.
Message you. Instagram, the message you gets to you, whether it's in a request or not, you will see it. I would like not to get as much as DMs on Instagram. I'm sorry. So therefore, if someone approaches on Instagram, I'll be very like, yeah.
Even though like Instagram is a dangerous man. I remember one of my friends out here. I was looking through her. I wasn't looking through her DMs, but like I just happened to see it and she's just a friend, whatever. But I just happened to see it when she's like on Instagram because it was a position where I could see her phone. You feel me? And niggas, I was just nosy. And then eventually I was like, yo, you have hella DMs. You feel me? And she was like, yeah, like And the way I'm seeing her go through it, she would just read it and then like leave it read. And I'm like, son, this is a. I'm like, yo.
That's kind of because I don't
I'm
read
like,
it. I just see it and not open it. To be honest.
Yeah, but either way, I'm looking like, dang, yo. It kind of made me. I'm like, I'm not sliding the DMs no more because
Yeah, bro.
I don't want to be a loss. I don't want to be a statistic.
Right.
Oh, just another guy, right?
So what?
Yeah, it's just gonna be another guy in the DMs.
Yeah, it's just like a validation thing, bro. Like girls like, oh, here's another guy today. Like, nah.
Yeah.
No, but let's agree that you're not always going to be successful at trying to get at a woman. So, Emmanuel, I have this feeling that you just don't like to be said no to.
No. I feel like that's a case for like everybody though. Like nobody likes to be said no to. So I don't have like a no. Listen. I don't have a problem with rejection, but we can't. Rejection at the end of the day is not going to feel good to a certain extent. I'm not going to say I'm not going to sit here and if a girl rejects me, right, I'm not going to sit here and be mad at her or be like, yo, what's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to do that. Like for me, I like, okay, that's wrong because everybody has their taste at the end of the day. So if I'm not your cup of tea, I can't be mad at you for that because I'm just not your cup of tea. However, it's not going to feel good. It's going to be like, dang, I'm not sure this cup of tea. Like, but it's not going to be towards her. It's just going to be towards like, damn, it's just going to be like, it's just going to be one of those things that just doesn't feel good, but it's not, I'm not blaming a girl that rejects me. If that's what you were getting at, like, I'm not going to say, hey.
Yeah, I didn't say blaming. I just thought maybe you kind of take it harder than other people would. And sometimes, guess what? I love the fact that some people will reject because sometimes it's a good thing. Because when you're looking back at the people that rejected you, you're like, okay, that person is not so special. It's not doing anything really. Sometimes you need that rejection. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I feel like it humbles you at the end of the day too, because like, especially like,
it does. Like a reality.
You're like, damn, bro, I thought I had that,
Yeah, I'm not gonna hold you. I was grown up with rejections. You feel me? Like my childhood was not sweet. You feel me? I didn't even talk to I didn't successfully talk to a girl that actually wanted me until like maybe the 10th or 11th grade. Like I grew up getting rejected. You feel me? So I'm used to it. You feel me? So it's not even going to be to a point where I'm feeling bad. Like the whole feeling, like the whole taking it hard, I already been through that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So now it's just like, I just accepted the fact that not everybody is going to find me attractive or not everybody's going to like me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that, and that's okay. Like there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I'm an advocate for being honest. If you don't think this person is your type, just, all right, that's not your type. Reject that person. You feel me? Like, but obviously,
So do you think these dating apps and social media, have played, an impact in relationships not lasting as long these days because of the amount of options that one might have?
Yes, I think so. I definitely believe so. Because there's too much access to different people, then people just don't get time to fixate and focus on one person. They're just basically putting their eggs in every single basket. You know what I mean? And then it's like, because you're just going based upon, oh, she looks good. Let me try this. Oh, she looks great. Let me try that. But instead of like, why not just also look at like what she does? Like, you know what I mean? Like, like she's into like, fashion. So why don't you get to like focus on that and explore more of that? You see what I'm saying? And tap into that. Or I just because there's so much going on. I'm not saying for everybody. It feels like people are just like too scared to commit, because why would I commit to this girl, for example, but she may be talking to like 20 other guys potentially. You see what I'm saying? So then it's like, you know what? I'm not going to take this serious. So, I'm just going to keep doing my thing and keep talking to multiple girls at the same time, right? So that I don't feel hurt. But if I put my, try to invest in this one person, but like she's not really looking at me or looking at my direction. She's looking at several directions.
Yeah, that's crazy. Especially with what Jeff just talked. I mean, Emmanuel just talked about like he had that one friend and like she had multiple DMs, even though she wasn't like replying to him. There's still that thought in your head, like, what if she does reply to that one guy? Like why would I risk that? Or I could just go talk to multiple girls as well. So if she does reply to that one guy, I have options as well. I feel like that just hinders the whole fact that people take time to pursue someone. That might be the difference between our generation and the past generation. I feel like. How do you think about that, Josie?
Definitely agree with what Jeff said.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you think about it, we are definitely on Instagram watching everyone's picture.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you watch it with the purpose of speaking to them or not, you are looking at it. So sometimes you have thoughts going through your mind, right? So I think that's how it originally starts. You have so many followers, those followers have followers. So everyone's pictures, just you can legit see anyone's picture, any country. And girls are flying to go see men, and men are flying. No, seriously, it's so easy now. It's become so okay for people to say, "Oh, well, I don't need him, girl. I got other men in my DMs."
Yeah.
To me, it's sad because at the end of the day, you are a really good guy for us. You're not even sure. So to me, yes, it's true, but it shouldn't be like that, unfortunately. Because if you know what you want, you're going to just stick to one thing and try and make it work. It's true, things don't always work, but I feel like people are not trying. Like Jeff said, there's no commitment. Some people really don't even know what it is to commit. They just think, okay, I like you, you like me, that's it. No, it's way more than that. So social media has
because social media is not going away. Like I don't think for the long time now. So do you think that's a new normal? Like relationship just never going to be that stable anymore?
Yeah, that's a new normal. Like I said yesterday in the room I was hosting that there's no happy life with no risk. So you have to take it at times. But I'm sorry, once you decide to take it, it's not a joke. You can't tell me you took a risk and then now with that risk you're already taking, which is what means someone online, right? You're going to go back online to look for your side piece or side whatever. It's to me, it's just not, that's taking too much of a risk. I feel like if you got one, try to focus on that one. I understand people date here and there, but if you decide to be with one, be patient and make it work. But yeah, social media is not going anywhere. So it's the new normal.
Josie's right. Josie's speaking facts. And one thing to add to that is like, I even seen it for the negative aspect to it. And whereas like, you know, when some guys like to comment on a woman's photo, other girls see that sometimes, and that can put them off because like, oh, I know this is a trend. This guy keeps like commenting every single girl's photos, and now it looks like he's not a serious guy. So now if I'm it happened to me before. Was like I would do that. I would just like comment on a lot of girls' photos, right? Not realizing that people are watching that, so then it gives an impression that, oh, I'm just thirsty for every single woman. So when I do see someone serious or potential that I want to like slide in her DMs, and I do slide in, oh, is this guy? Oh no, forget it. Nope, not this guy. Because you know why? I seen a repetitive pattern of his overly commenting on women's photos. So it just seems like he's all over the place. And maybe that could be another reason why some women wouldn't consider us when we DM them, is because of that. You know what I'm saying? And also what you post on your stories too is another thing. It's basically a gateway view to see your personality, right? So it's like, for me, like I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I post some very controversial stuff on my story because I find it very humorous. But the thing is, someone who doesn't know me may think, oh, that's how he actually thinks. So because of that is also another issue. And then they're gonna want to forget this guy. But then it's like, once you post other things, oh wow, I didn't know he was like this. Okay, cool. Because like again, your stories are basically a gateway portal to how maybe what you find funny, what you think, or just your thoughts in general.
No, yeah, that's very interesting. So would you say you're not a serious, or people perceive you to not be a serious guy, you just weren't a serious guy?
Yeah, I'm not even trying to cut you off, Jeff. When what Jeff said, it's accurate because it goes both ways. Because me, I just got Instagram. I don't post much, right? Some men don't take me because I don't have many pictures. I think we should also normalize people who don't have Instagram or social media because they like their life to be private. I have Instagram, I have Snapchat. I still love my privacy. Do you get what I mean? I can still get out there and date and talk to people. I don't have to post so much as other women do or other men do. When you post, that's the first insight I have in your life. So if you're posting money all the time, you're posting alcohol all the time, that to me, you love alcohol. And me, I don't drink. So therefore, what if you slide in my DM, I'm going to be like, oh, okay, I'll pass. You get what I mean? It's sad, but that's gonna be my first judgment. You drink a lot. I don't drink that much, you know. Whereas if I slide in your DM, you won't see nothing about me, right? You're definitely gonna have to speak to me first to know who I am, because I don't post anything on social media. So there's definitely two ways to it. Should you post if you want to? Should you not? Yeah, of course. But you will kind of know and see the difference when people treat you, how people treat you.
Yeah, definitely. And also too, like, for example, Josie, you're a very beautiful woman, right? And let's just say like you have like like a huge following. Some guys may be even intimidated to even be in your DMs because they're probably thinking, oh, she might be that she wouldn't go for a guy like me. Or she'll probably only go guys for like who are CEOs or guys who are ballers, and that's the case. You know what I mean? She gets so much DMs, or maybe she's just too out there for me. I'm scared. You know, I'm more of a low key kind of guy, so you know, forget it. I can't go in her DMs. But yo, maybe Josie is that perfect person. You don't. You're just going based upon her followers, but not really like looking at her as a picture. She may not be that kind of woman. You see what I'm saying? She might be the fun loving, jovial, down to earth person, but because of that, like that following count, and people are so caught up with the vanity aspect of social media. I mean, it scares people, and then that can also prevent them from even approaching a woman like Josie potentially. So yeah.
You're all guilty of doing that though, in a way, because I am. When a guy with so many followers, I'm like, is he just trying to play with me, or is he serious? It's definitely, it does affect it. And this is why I say social media has changed everything. You would think 100 times when someone on social media comes and approach you, you know. But if that same person approached me face to face, I probably won't have that time to think, because I haven't been on his Instagram yet. You know what I mean?
Right.
Instagram, it changed everything. And so having a lot of followers can also be it has advantages and disadvantages, because you're going to sit there and someone's going to think, oh, no, she's this bougie girl. Whereas she might just be a very normal girl that has a lot of followers because of what she does. And it's sad.
Yeah.
It's definitely.
Yeah. This is why I think Clubhouse is the best app. I personally think it's the best app because of that. A lot of the people I've noticed that like on Clubhouse, you wouldn't even know that they have a huge following on Instagram, right? Mm-hmm. They probably have a low following, and they're just like be in the rooms just to vibe out and just see, read the room. And then like you literally could be in rooms with them, having conversations with them. And then once you go on the Instagram, you're like, oh wow, this person has 24K followers. I didn't even know that. Wow, but like on Clubhouse, she's so cool.
People when I say famous people, it's known people, right? Yeah. They come on Clubhouse and they're just so normal. I'm just like, oh, okay. Because me, I check Instagram when you're in my rooms, but sometimes I'm not that, I don't check it that quick. And then when I do, I'm just like, oh, okay. And that's where it's I get where Clubhouse does kind of, it makes things way
Clubhouse, because anybody could just walk into your room, bro. And y'all know Alfonso Davis, right? I think I told y'all this already, right?
Yeah.
Alfonso Davis, he's like he's a football, not American football, like regular football. He's a football player, and so the people in the room, it was like look at this guy trying to act like. Look at this guy trying to catfish for Alfonso Davis, right? Because at the time he didn't have his Instagram link, and he was in the room with us for like a minute, but nobody said nothing to him. He was just chilling, vibing out. Then finally, when someone noticed the Alfonso Davis DP picture, they thought he was a catfish, and then we had told him to link his Instagram. My boy linked it. That joint said 2.3 million followers. Niggas, oh shit! It's the real one.
Is that people are human beings, and they also want to mix and mingle with human beings. Like, let's forget that they're famous, forget that they have this money. They are humans with feelings and needs. Just like we have Mologo in our rooms. I had DJ Beat in the room. People were just like, oh, this is just like Jeff said, he didn't know. He was like, he didn't even know Mologo was that. Yeah, they are human beings. They have personalities that matches ours. You can match your personality with someone that's famous. It doesn't have money. But that's how we think.
Yeah, that's why I give that to Clubhouse. Clubhouse, you get to see just the human side of, I mean, other platforms too, to an extent, but Clubhouse just makes it like more in your face. Like, oh, you get to really see this. Like it just, you're literally in a room with them and they're talking. Even if you're not on stage, right? Let's say you go to like, for example, like 21 Savage. When I first got on Clubhouse and I would go to like a 21 Savage room or whatever, and he's just talking to his friends, they cracking jokes to each other. I'm like, yo, this is exactly how me and my friends be talking and cracking jokes to each other. I'm like, yeah, so you get to see like, yeah, they're dead human beings, just they on the same type of time we on, they just richer and more famous.
Honestly, yeah, you're right.
Also, they can also find a regular girl and fall in love with on there, because I went in the room, they were speaking about that. They don't only date girls that are famous, they can also find a girl that has a good like she has a good conversation on there, and they click, and they can also date her. People don't believe it, but I think that whoever said that day was very much right.
Yeah, Josie's so right.
Could be possible.
Josie's right. Yeah, Josie's right. It's true, because they're like you said, they're normal people, right? They're normal people trying to vibe out, and then it's like a lot of Josie's room. I love her rooms because you get different people from like different walks of life. And again, she was saying, I think Normal Logo was a verified person. I'm just thinking, just a guy, on stage. We're just having a conversation. To one that she's like, he's a famous guy, like he's pretty known, and I was blown away. And I'm here vibing with this guy, not knowing he's just he's probably a famous person, internationally, but to us, he's just like a regular guy.
Cadmiel too. He does the Voice of Africa. People know it. My friends know it. And
we got a celebrity right here. Like.
Yeah, Cadmiel. Like, I didn't even know too.
He's just relaxing. I'm just like, I went on this guy's Instagram. I was like, oh, but yeah, it does happen. We all mix, and we should mix, guys. It's not abnormal.
Like just like Jeff just talked about the logo thing. Like I feel like it's so crazy how we've been programmed with social media now. Because like I remember being in the room with him, I'm just like messing around, saying random stuff, playing with him. And I go on his IG, like, yo, I should have said that. I should have said this, like, Once he has followers and all that, like, yeah, bro. But like, there's just normal people.
Yeah, once you pick the followers, it's like,
yeah.
Damn, I got it.
Yeah, so like, I definitely agree that Clubhouse is definitely, because all of that is kind of like blocked out. You don't see their pictures, you don't see their wealth and all that. You just see them for who they are and like their personality.
Yeah, us right now in this room, we're having this conversation. Tomorrow we do something or we get into business, it works, we become famous. Me, especially, I'm not going to change who I am. People always say money will change you, but when you know where you're coming from and what you've been through, me sitting here, I will still come back and sit here and speak to you guys, whether you have money or not. And I think some of those people are like that. They are still who they are, regardless of how much money they make, regardless of where they go and dress up fancy. They're still the normal Molobo, they're still the normal DJ Afrobeat. It don't take that away from them. And I really love people like that, because you don't have to change who you are. Like, it could be one of like making a lot of money tomorrow. I wish it is. I hope it is.
That's what I've been thinking about that too. Like, if I was famous, I wouldn't even want to be like in the Hollywood circle too much. You feel me? Because it's like at some point you're gonna start seeing the same person every goddamn time. Like, it's like going to a small school or university. Like, you always in the same mix. Like, it get boring. Like, nah, I want to definitely talk to, and you don't want to lose sight of reality. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, they don't want to lose sight of that reality, and they just like, we're regular. And there is mad celebrities who are mad down to earth. You feel me? I remember I used to work at this like this big church, and a lot of times we'll have to pick up like celebrity Christians or whatever, and I'll be in a car with them having conversations with them. I'm like, oh, they mad chill, like regular. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's like
yeah, that's accurate.
That's cool. Yeah, I think in conclusion, what we're all trying to say about the whole dating thing is that it just depends on the individual, and then your intentions and making your intentions known. Going into steps. I think was that in conclusion what we all agree on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the most just intentions.
Yeah.
Making intentions.
And always please, I'll tell everyone out there to be transparent. Don't think you need to put an act. Don't think you need to be someone you're not. Don't think you need to speak less. Did you just mean anything? Don't think you need to speak less just because you are, because the guy you want has different values as you. Always be transparent. Always speak your truth. Be the true you, because at the end of the day, you don't have to be someone different to get someone, because there's someone out there for you. Just be you. Be your original. Like,
Yeah. and don't be scared for things not to work out.
Right.
I think that might be a reason why people aren't as honest as they should be, because they try to force something to work out. But like, if you're 100% honest, if it works out, then you know this is real. You know what I'm saying? And if it doesn't work out, because you rather just give them all of you, and then if they like that, then you know it's real. If they don't, then there's nothing wrong with that as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't reflection on you, reflection on them, you know, because you put in your all, you were as honest as you could possibly be. So if it doesn't work out, at least you know that, hey, I tried my best, and you know,
it is what it is. You're not gonna vibe with everybody.
And you learn as well from every experience too. So now you know, like, hey, if I see this person like has the same traits of the person that, you know, that didn't work out with, you know, like not to, you know, engage or like to commit to that particular person just because they have that particular trait as well too. So like, yeah, definitely.
Before we kind of close it, guys, be always open to soul searching, because if you don't do the soul searching stuff, you're not going to know who is for you, what is for you, what you really want, where you're going. Please know your love language before you even get into this dating app or
That's a big one.
Please, you need to know you before you even bring anybody in your life or accept anyone. So that's just, and normalize failing. Failure is just another lesson. So let's just say that.
That's another one. That's a fact.
Josie said it.
Yeah,
Josie said it beautifully. Emmanuel, you said it beautifully. Cadmiel, guys, I hit the nail on the head. So I agree with everything you guys said.
All right, for sure. So yeah, thank you guys for, you know, coming to the platform. We will be having a couple more chats in the future as well on different topics. So
thank you for having us. Thank you.
Thank you, Cadmiel. Thank you.